let's call this being able to pivot and adjust when needed. Obviously, I'm next to my window getting this beautiful ass sun this morning. I guess my page is gonna somewhat change now that I'm kind of, still driving my van, but now living in my apartment. So being able to pivot in your life is very important. This is where alchemizing, this is where creating, this is where transmuting comes into play. And anybody that ever feels stuck just isn't aware of the alchemizing process. And the alchemizing process is just really you being a co-creator with source energy, and to be able to recognize an aspect of yourself in where it's heading, the direction that it's heading, and being able to pivot and adjust according to what's gonna come. Not to say that you automatically always know what's gonna come, but there's this watching yourself at play, watching yourself in this movie. And hold on a minute. All right, that's a little bit better. Now I can see the screen. So yeah, pivoting and adjusting, right? The reason why it's important to know that fluidity in your life, and that life is not linear, and life is always spiraling. And I don't mean spiraling in like a downward spiral and you're just, that shit happens too, right? But that's not what I'm saying. I'm meaning spiraling as far as life is just not one way all the time. Life is just waves. It's waves of experiences, it's waves of change, it's waves of evolution. And when you begin to be stuck in one thing, or the illusion of being stuck, then you're not really being able to see the depths of yourself. This is why challenging yourself through experiences and challenging yourself through just your life in general and stepping out of what you're used to is really important. You have to put yourself through things in order to see the expansiveness of all that you are. Because I always say whatever isn't changing is dead. And that's just energetically stagnant, and we all came with this creative energy. We all came with this energy of being able to direct ourselves in whatever place we want to be in. And I was telling my friend, the beautiful thing about this experience for myself is that my credit sucks. When I started van life, listen, I was on that, nobody's gonna tie me down to anything. I'm a rebel. And I'm still like that, but I let my credit go to shit. And the fact that I was able to get this beautiful space without even to have a credit check, no administrative fees, no last month, I just was able to get this just because I work here. And so you have to be prepared to be able to pivot and adjust and maneuver yourself. And when things come your direction with ease, you'll always know that this is you who created this moment in time and that it's for you. And no matter how long it's going to last, because it's not going to last forever, and no matter how it shows up, it's definitely, let me see, this girl's, they're acting crazy. It's you, it's all you at the end of the day, So I think one thing that I'm realizing about my life, one, obviously I'm into astrology, I'm into human design, I'm a generator. So as a generator, my energy, I work with my sacral energy, right? My sacral energy, and I go through my creative energy with either a you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if somebody asks me a question, or if I'm supposed to be doing something, is this the direction that I need to go into? I'm always gonna have that or if not, it's gonna be nuh-uh. And when it's nuh-uh, then we're just gonna keep it moving and go into a different direction. So when I'm working from my sacral chakra, which is what I've learned throughout the years, I'm able to materialize things very quickly in my life because I'm following the natural element of my design. Everybody, how I do my thing and how you do your thing and how somebody else does their thing in order to materialize things is all going to be different. Please understand this. This is what we have to understand. Just because somebody does one thing one way and you see it prosper for them, doesn't automatically mean that the process is going to work for you. It just doesn't. You know, you have to find your own path. You have to find your own way. You have to find your own frequency to work off of and to manipulate and to move through in order and to be able to pivot and to be able to adjust, you know, on an energetic level. And so it's good to listen to things. It's good to educate yourself. It's good to see how people are maneuvering. It's good to sit here and listen to me as far as my journey and how I'm able to shift accordingly when things pop up in my life. But there is also this dynamic where you have to depend on yourself, all right? You have to depend on yourself. This is not about anybody else but you. And the more that you begin to listen to 1,000 people doing their thing, now you have 1,000 types of energy floating around in your mind, and it doesn't know which direction you want it to go. So this is why intentional focus, right? Directing your energy, having your own energy and ways of you doing things is so important. Hold on a minute. I forgot I've had my Alexa on this whole time playing music, so I'm hoping that the background noise doesn't get cut out because of a coffee situation. But yeah, you know, it's being able to pivot yourself into a new space and a new dynamic of yourself. And the more that you begin to harness the energy of knowing your own self, the more that you begin to live off of your own energy. Some things that, you know, you see others doing, it could actually be a stumbling block for you, because now, as they say, it's a copycat situation, you know, and we all have our own unique ways of living and being, and, you know, how things should manifest and align for us. You know, it's good to maybe take on certain information, but then also making sure that you are transmuting it with your own frequency and your own breath of life. FYI, the cat is just loving her experience here. She's just been running around like crazy, and I'm just so happy to see her like that. She's been doing great. So yeah, you know, I just wanted to leave you guys with this because this space was expected, but also unexpected. You know, it's still me at the end of the day that ended up creating this and making this a reality for myself. And, you know, it's like the more that you trust yourself and the more that you begin to harness that internal knowingness of yourself, the more ease begins to come to your life, because you're not trying to force anything. You know, you're visualizing, you're speaking, you're breathing the breath of life into it, but there's no forcing things into existence, because it already exists. At this point in our lives, it's about pure divine alignment. You know, it's about getting yourself at this high vibrational aspect of yourself. And it's okay when you're not, because again, life is not linear. It's constantly spiraling. And you know, but when you're on that path, you know, regardless of when you have these types of situations, your perception of it is different now, because you realize that everything is happening internally from you, and then it is happening for you, right? Because your spirit, your energy, your higher self, source energy is honoring everything that you are putting out there for yourself. It's honoring it. No matter what degree of the spectrum it's on, you're being honored. Everything that you desire, everything that you feel you're worthy of is all being honored. So if you want to get honored on a higher frequency, then just start vibing in that atmosphere, you know? So, all right, let me get out of here. I got to go get this futon for my space, but just wanted to leave you with that, Jewel. Peace.